On March 12, 2025, the landscape of global trade shifted as new tariffs on imported steel and aluminum came into effect. These tariffs, set at 25%, represent a significant increase in the cost of importing these essential metals into the United States. This move, enacted by the Trump administration, has sent ripples of concern throughout numerous industries, including the vibrant and growing craft beer sector. The tariffs are wide-reaching, affecting imports from all countries, including key trading partners like Canada and those in the European Union. The decision to implement these tariffs stems from a desire to bolster domestic production of steel and aluminum. The administration argues that relying on foreign imports has weakened these industries within the US. By making imported metals more expensive, the hope is that domestic producers will benefit from increased demand. However, the reality is more complicated. The US currently lacks the domestic capacity to fully meet its own needs for both steel and aluminum. This means that even with increased domestic production, reliance on imports will continue. The new tariffs, therefore, are likely to result in higher prices for these metals, regardless of their origin. This price increase is expected to have a cascading effect on various industries that depend on steel and aluminum, including construction, automotive, and importantly, craft brewing. The craft beer industry, known for its innovation and use of high-quality ingredients, is particularly vulnerable to these tariffs. The reliance on aluminum cans for packaging makes the industry heavily dependent on the availability and affordability of this lightweight and recyclable material. With the new tariffs in place, the cost of producing and packaging craft beer is set to rise, potentially impacting the affordability and accessibility of these beloved beverages for consumers across the nation. Aluminum cans have experienced a surge in popularity within the craft beer industry in recent years. This is largely due to their numerous advantages over other packaging options, such as glass bottles. Aluminum cans are lighter than glass, making them more efficient to transport. They are also excellent at blocking light and oxygen, which can degrade the quality of beer over time. Furthermore, aluminum cans have a higher recycling rate compared to glass, making them a more sustainable choice. The craft beer industry in the US is characterized by its diversity and entrepreneurial spirit. Small and independent breweries often operate on tight margins, and the increased cost of aluminum cans due to tariffs poses a significant challenge. For many craft brewers, absorbing these increased costs is not a viable option. Passing on the price increase to consumers, on the other hand, could lead to reduced sales and impact their competitive edge against larger, more established breweries. The potential impact on consumer prices is a major concern. While the full extent of the price increase is yet to be determined, experts suggest that it could be significant enough to influence consumer behavior. The craft beer market, while growing, is also price-sensitive. Consumers drawn to the unique flavors and independent spirit of craft beer may be less willing to pay a premium if prices rise too high. The tariffs have placed craft brewers in a difficult position. Balancing their commitment to quality and affordability with the rising cost of production is a challenge that will require innovative solutions. Some breweries may explore alternative packaging options, such as glass bottles or even crowlers, which are large single-use cans. Others may seek to negotiate better prices with their suppliers or explore collaborations to share costs. However, the long-term impact of these tariffs on the craft beer industry remains uncertain. The implementation of steel and aluminum tariffs has not been met with silence from the international community. Key U.S. trading partners, including Canada and the European Union, have voiced their disapproval and announced retaliatory measures. These retaliatory tariffs target specific U.S. goods, aiming to exert economic pressure and discourage protectionist trade policies. Canada, a close ally and the largest exporter of aluminum to the U.S., has expressed strong opposition to the tariffs. In previous instances of U.S. tariffs on Canadian aluminum, Canada responded with retaliatory tariffs on a range of U.S. products, including consumer goods and agricultural products. The current tariffs are expected to elicit a similar response, potentially impacting U.S. businesses and consumers. The European Union, another significant trading partner, has also condemned the tariffs and announced a two-phase plan for retaliation. The first phase, implemented on April 1, 2025, reinstated tariffs on goods caught in previous trade disputes, including steel, aluminum, bourbon, and whiskey. The second phase, scheduled for April 13, 2025, is designed to target a broader range of U.S. products, with beer potentially included after consultations with stakeholders. These retaliatory measures highlight the interconnectedness of the global economy and the potential for trade disputes to escalate quickly. The tariffs, initially aimed at supporting domestic industries, have triggered a chain reaction with the potential to harm businesses and consumers on both sides of the Atlantic. The uncertainty surrounding these trade tensions adds another layer of complexity to the challenges faced by the craft beer industry. In the face of these challenges, the Brewers Association, a trade group representing small and independent American craft brewers, has emerged as a vocal advocate for its members. Recognizing the significant threat posed by the steel and aluminum tariffs, the Brewers Association has been actively engaging with policymakers and raising awareness about the potential negative impacts on the craft beer industry. The Brewers Association argues that the tariffs are effectively a tax on American craft brewers, as they increase the cost of essential materials without providing any direct benefits. They emphasize that the craft beer industry relies on a global supply chain, with many breweries sourcing their aluminum cans from Canada or other countries. The tariffs, they argue, disrupt this supply chain and threaten the viability of many small and independent breweries. The Brewers Association has been actively communicating with members of Congress and the administration, urging them to reconsider the tariffs and their impact on the craft beer industry. They have organized lobbying efforts, provided testimony at hearings, and encouraged their members to share their stories about how the tariffs are affecting their businesses. In addition to their advocacy efforts, the Brewers Association is also providing resources and support to its members to help them navigate the challenges posed by the tariffs. This includes providing information about alternative packaging options, exploring opportunities for collective bargaining power, and offering guidance on how to communicate price increases to consumers. The Brewers Association's efforts highlight the importance of collective action and advocacy in protecting the interests of small and independent businesses in the face of potentially harmful policies.
Like, share, and subscribe!